go with the flow. And our purpose is to inspire people, right?
Exactly. And it is to inspire and empower women to be all that they can be the awesome self. But most of all, for you and I to have some fun. That's why I'm wearing my dangly earrings. I don't wear dangly earrings unless I'm looking for fun.
That's a good rule.
I have very serious small earrings that I wear when I need to focus on work. But when I'm planning on having fun, which is what I want from all of these connections. The dangles come in.
Yeah, that is definitely a good message to the subconscious. Dangly ears, fine, earrings.
That's it. Let's go with the flow. Let's have a good time. Let's just enjoy. That's all there is to it. That's what we need more of in life, is to enjoy.
Listen, I would like very much to share with people why their voice is so powerful. And what does it mean, and how it's connected to the medicine wheel in my way of working, and what it did to me, and why I'm so passionate about it.
I love it,
and how it's all come together. I'm doing this for years. You know, I started some aspects of it. I started in 1998. So there is that's what I would like to contribute.
Yeah, but yes, I see that's what is coming to me, is that you were born to this. Absolutely. So yeah.
But I resisted it also a lot. It's so interesting how we're always resisting our calling.
Isn't it?
No, go. After a few years, you go like, if I'm true to myself, I have to do this.
Or sometimes after 60 years, like what happened to me.
Yes, you feel the same.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, all of my tests, everything through school was, Karen, you're going to be a teacher. And I said, okay, well, I'll go to college to be a teacher. And I said, no, teaching is not my thing. It just isn't. And lo and behold, that's what I'm doing, sharing. What is teaching but sharing information to allow people to grow in a more positive way. Isn't that what a teacher is?
Exactly. Maybe your idea of what a teacher was what you didn't relate to, but now in this new form, you go like, oh yeah, I recognize. Cool. Is it too dark? Or we both? Oh, maybe I should have something blue like you. I also have some blue.
Okay.
Will be blue and bring the serious energy. Serious planet energy. That's nice.
And we can even bring that in a little bit. We're doing the energy of our throat chakra.
Yes, exactly.
And hearing our voice. So
that's one of my specialties, the throat chakra.
And I was searching for that for so long. And I think you can always, I've stopped searching, but I definitely recognize when I'm learning more about opening up the throat chakra. I'm working on that. So it's great.
I relate to this. I work with it all of my life, and also now I'm going like, I see my how do you say that? My thyroid is giving me problems. So it's like it's always an evolution now. Next stage, I'm looking deeper into what is now standing in the way, because it's all very, very strong.
Exactly.
It's very deep. Like every person has their depthness of healing somewhere else. So mine is like, so let's wear some blue. Yee-hee!
All righty. Throat chakra, hearing, voice. Let's do this thing. Awesome.
All right, let's have fun.
All right. Fun is number one. Let's do this. Awesome. All set?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
All set.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Awesome Life Podcast. I'm Karen Stultz, your host today. I'm the founder of the Heart Energy Techniques and the creator of the Awesome Life System, where we just find different ways of creating this awesome life. And isn't that what we all want to have, is awesomeness in our life. So on our podcast, we have amazing guests to inspire and empower women to, in particular, some men as well, to find their awesomeness wherever it is, to expand, to enjoy life on all levels. And you know me, fun is number one. And today I'm here with the most amazing, fun person. We've just been having a lovely conversation.
Sorry, could not help it. Amazing.
Yeah, there we go. A fun conversation with Galitta Tassa. Tell me your last name.
Tassa.
Tessa. Very simple.
Easy. Galitta Tassa is very, very
Tessa. You can just feel the joy and the fun in that, isn't it? It's great. Gelitta helps people connect with their genuine, authentic inner voice on all four levels of their being so that they can know themselves. And isn't that what it's all about? Knowing yourself so you can express yourself, so you can be your authentic, awesome self, be heard for being their true selves in the world. And her motivation is to raise the frequency of the planet, which of course is
all light
so
workers
necessary.
do. All light workers are on the same mission.
Always, always. So she is a singer, songwriter. She's a sound healer. She's a storyteller. She's a performing shaman and a healer. And I am honored to call her my friend. So Gelitta, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today. And tell us, how did you find your voice? Tell us more about you.
How did I find my voice? I'm still discovering it because there's always new things coming up to clear. But it started for me very simple. I had no voice when I was a child, and I'm talking physically. I was like speaking like this. I was always out of air. I was a very enthusiastic child. I took the role of being the happy maker for my grandparents, and I lost my voice all the time. So I didn't have a voice, and I always wanted to sing. And I come from a family and tribe of very creative healers people. They all have amazing voices. Some of the people in my family have amazing voices. My two grandfathers were Hazan, you know, it's called the person that sings in the synagogue.
Okay.
And I could not sing.
When you were speaking about voice, you were thinking singing in particular.
I just wanted to have just to sing. I could not sing, and I need to express myself. And I was a comedian in school, and I was dancing. My father was a dancer, so I could do all of those things. Except singing, I could not sing, and that drove me nuts because I had the feeling and the dream that with singing come kind of freedom I wanted to have, and I never thought that I will ever be able to sing, but it was something very deep inside me that I pursued, that basically because I wanted to express myself as an artist. So that was the beginning. But then part of my journey is that I discovered all these layers, which has now become my methods, which I say the 4 voices. I discovered that it's not only about the physical voice. There are other aspects of ourselves that hindering or progressing the physical voice in singing. So when I started to discover how can I sing better, it came into discovering a little bit more about myself, and then also about other aspects of myself, like the mental voice. You know, the 4 voices are basically our body, the singing voice, the speaking voice, but also our mental voice, and also our inner voice, which connects us to our spirit. So it is mind, spirit, body, and heart. So all of those dimensions, where I was so intense person and so compulsive creative, I tried to balance myself out, and I discovered that this whole breathing thing, which you need if you want to sing, if you want to be healthy, has deeper layers why I could not breathe. So it was a lifetime, and it still is, of discovery. So that's what I say. I always say, know yourself, express yourself, because you need this self-discovery thing in order to elevate what is not elevated. Like, for example, I wanted to sing, but I could not. But it's in everything that we do that there is something that blocks the thing that you want. You want to have more love in your life, but to discover what you are doing, that your subconscious mind putting it away, is you have to go within. You have to go to know yourself. You have to understand where is it that it's blocking this thing that you desire. So I have a lot to say about that, and I'm still discovering my voice. What happened in my case is because I was a performer and a dancer, and with dancing it was easy. When I was 16, I started to sing in the band, but I still struggled with my voice a lot. And I had a lot of lessons and a lot from different teachers, and I slowly expanded my voice. So when I was singing, I was like, I could do an octave and a half. That was my range. Octave and a half, it's very little on the piano. And now I'm 3.5. So what happened that I expanded my physical voice? It happened with expanding my emotional voice. Like in my case, everybody has it somewhere else. When I work with people, you see they have their blockages somewhere in the wheel of life, in the medicine wheel. And in my case, it was emotional. So when I dig deep and allowed what Eckhart Tolle called the pain body be released, I was able physically to sing. So I am passionate about people connecting to their inner voice, because that's where all of it begins, that you start to know yourself on a gigantic level of your soul, and the connection between your soul and your personality, and to work and manage your emotions, and to understand how powerful they are, and how to work with this frequency in order to release ourselves from pain, suffering, and limitation, and to expand into joy. And of course, we all understand the mental voice, because we all have this computer in our heads repeating the same limited beliefs that people gave us, or that we inherited, or that we took, or that we, So lifetime of work to go around the wheel. And every time we come,
we always want to learn and expand and grow, but not to discount how far people have come in finding their voice each little bit. And that is so huge. And you certainly have, by the way, listeners, please go to her YouTube channel, because she has beautiful music. You can hear her amazing sounds there. And by the way, if you don't notice it, come over to our YouTube channel and see that we're both wearing our blue to bring out our throat chakra of finding our voice and being out there in the world and making a difference in the world. Now, you are a shamanic performer, but I would say you might have been born shaman. Is that something that you might have think about?
Yeah, I really didn't want that path at all. I just want to perform. I love music theater. I just wanted to be an artist and performer. But I come from a tribe of people that I learned about myself, understand myself, I see how it was inherited. And it's fine. Now it's integrated, because in my own process, I realized that just to perform, because my first business, I had an entertainment company. I was doing big band swing music with my band. I love that stuff. Woohoo! But just to be entertaining, at a certain point, was not enough. And then when I had my own crisis and I had to dig deep into my own self and my own tribe and my whole family line, and I came into the shamanic aspect of healing, then I realized I could not do only the that part that you use actually music and performing in order to transform. It's like alchemy work. That's exciting. So it took me a long time to find where I belong, and I belong between the entertaining and the hardcore shamanic healing. So yeah, now I put that together. So when somebody called me a shamanic performer, I thought, okay, because I work through the I work through the medicine wheel. I work with my shamanic drama. Lots of people know me because of my shamanic sound journeys that I take people through sessions of, because I use sound healing and I use the shamanic wheel and of course the spirit world and the earth. So I completely work shamanic. So I had to go like, okay, but I feel but I am fine.
Is there a process that you have put together for people who are looking to find their voice? People needing to find their purpose. And I think, to me, when you find your purpose, you've also found your voice. Yes. When you are living, when you are being.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
in one anyway. And I love the fact that there are 4. I did not know that there were 4 voices, but as you explained them, indeed, having the little nagging voice there, or the encouraging voice. I love the little gremlin on the shoulder, or the little angel on the shoulder talking to you back and forth. But so I can see that inner voice. The emotional part of it is so huge, and those are things that need to be addressed in order to find any sort of awesome life in you, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's where my heart energy techniques have come in to help make that an easier process.
Yes.
You don't have to go down into the depths of your soul. And I think having music, having that joy, having the sound work is also a very simple way, I would think.
Simple, I would say it's huge. It can be simple. That frequency does the job. On the heart. Like your technique is the emotional voice, which is very important. Most people neglect that part because in Western culture we are, trained to disregard that part, disregard the feminine qualities in general. And that's also part of the method, how I work. It's the unity of the divine masculine and divine feminine, like the right brain and the left brain, your extrovert part and your introvert part, your outer world and your inner world. So the heart, which now there is a little bit more science about how powerful it is, how intelligent it is. This is the realm of the feminine world. And now that it comes up, now the heart technique, people start to realize they cannot manifest anything without addressing the heart. They cannot find joy without addressing the things that's sitting on the heart. So that's kind of the central work of realizing that you are actually already everything, and it's like peeling the shells or the layers that blocking your light body from shining. So
making it, when I say simple, it is simple and yet so profound. It isn't necessarily easy, but it's a very simple thing. And having that music is so profound, that sound that you provide. And you also mentioned the medicine wheel. How do you use a medicine wheel in your work?
Well, the 4 voices is based on the medicine wheel. Medicine wheel is I can show it. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes.
So the medicine wheel shows us addressing the 4 aspects of ourselves. And it's also the 4 seasons. It's also the 4 directions. It's also the 4 elements and the 4 voices. So through the voice work, help people activate that. Because when I started, there was no consciousness at all about the sacredness of the circle. It was total, rational, linear, masculine rat race. And even that I grew up in Israel. So I was born in Jerusalem and I grew up in a Western Israel society. But I grew up in a village that all of the people of my village came from another village in Yemen when the time was to return to Jerusalem. So there's a whole, it's very mythological kind of culture that I belong. And all indigenous cultures completely work with the sacredness of the circle, which is the feminine. And in Western culture, it doesn't, it kind of like was pushed away. I mean, if you just realize that around 500,000 women in Europe were killed in a period of 200 years, you can see there is a really strong woundedness on the feminine. And the feminine is also listening to our inner voices. What we are, more people start to meditate, start to connect to a part that we kind of lost in this Western thinking. It doesn't work anymore. We can all see it now that it doesn't work. So now we're all looking for the balance, and the indigenous people, and we can see that also in the world, there's a rise of the feminine, there is the rise of the softness, there is the rise of the indigenous people, there's a rise of the earth going like, hey, you better listen and connect to me and let's work together. And it's all part of that. It's kind of like, so first is to realize that life is cyclic. No, for women, we know it because it's in our body so much. But even Western women kind of lost connection with that, which very empowering when you want to have children and when you want to totally capitalize on your feminine power. Literally in business, at work, in politics. So it's like we're looking for the balance of like having the masculine and the feminine, finding each other again. And it's actually very spiritual, because what I do is to bring the holy marriage in ourselves. It starts with you, and then you do that in your relationships. And then we want to do that in our world. So it's very exciting. Because for a long time, it was like people didn't understand what I was talking about. And now, yes, it's like, yeah, so many people. Yeah,
and people are coming around in a major way to recognize that. Or I have one client who says, you know, I love what happens when I walk away. I just feel so much better, but I don't believe in anything you do. So, you know, but every time you walk away feeling better, whether it be through your wonderful sound wheel, medicine wheel of sound, and do you use bowls? Is that kind of the sound, or your voice?
When I take people through a shamanic journey, it's a shamanic sound journey, because I use the drum. So the shamanic drum completely helps our brain come into a theta brainwave. You know, we are in a beta brainwave is when you have to do driving and shopping and stuff. And when you close your eyes and you relax a little bit, our brainwave go into alpha. So that's very nice and relaxed. But when you go deeper than that, that is the theta brainwave, which is kind of our access to our subconscious mind. If you go deeper than that, you go into delta, which is when we sleep. And then there is gamma. But to be in this brainwave is so powerful. And that's basically the first thing I teach people. When they can access the power of their own mind, subconscious mind, which is also the feminine, you know, it's like where everything is, everything, whatever happened, ever created, ever said, exists, the oneness. When a person has access to there, they really have a tool that they become unbeatable. And then people can do it themselves, this accessing themselves in. So I use a shamanic drum. And then when I'm recording, when I do live my shamanic journeys, then I speak and I sing. But I'm recording them in the studio, and then I record my voice in few layers. So it's like sound healing effect. And I also bring light language. I don't know, maybe it's too woo-woo. But light language is basically a song that has vibration. And it sounds like a language, but it comes from very, if I keep it neutral, then it comes from a deeper part of ourselves. We don't understand it cognitively, but we understand it on the heart level. So it's very effective. So I use the drum, I use my voice, I use sometimes other instruments, but using my voice in different ways. That's the speaking, the chanting, and the singing, the light language, then it's very powerful. I love it.
Oh, yeah, I can
And you just put your earphones and you can go into a session, because now everything is digitalized and you can just take it. It's very effective. I like that. I like that tool for people.
Oh, it's a wonderful tool. Yes, it's very powerful. I know whenever I'm feeling a little or especially if it's been a couple of days, I say, all right, okay, I could smudge, but you know what? I can't open up any windows, and the sage gets to me sometimes. So I prefer doing that in the spring when I can open windows. So in the meantime, I go to sound to do the clearing, so I just get a YouTube. I get your YouTube channel actually sometimes to,
I have there some free
clear ones. And just feel better. And when you feel better, then you can, when your energy rises, and you can effectively handle the world a whole lot better, I think.
You totally get the inspiration or the knowledge you need in order to handle a situation. That's why, like, if you have a problem, instead of try to solve, you better put yourself in a theta brainwave, because then all of the channel opens and then it's magnetized to you. Suddenly you see the solution. My husband never believes me when he goes like, yeah, but I have to go and work. And I say, no, just take the time. Just come with me and let's take the time. And he thinks it's doing nothing. But by now he knows. When you come into that place of nothing, then suddenly all of the full potentiality of the cosmos can come to you. And suddenly it's literally resolving itself. But sometimes also I forget. I forget
that's the human side of us, and that's okay too. We all have that human side. Thank goodness we have that human side, right?
We forgive ourselves for being human and live.
But I love the fact that you go into that theta state that allows us to hear the subconscious, and people don't actually understand the fact that our subconscious does know everything, and our subconscious is not sabotaging us. No. It is protecting us and helping us, and always looking for ways to help us feel better about ourselves, about a situation, always to protect us. I mean, even releasing weight,
absolutely.
It is, the subconscious says, okay, but you know what? If you release weight, this might happen. So the whole idea of being able to go into that theta state and re-educating it to serve you better. And I think that's what your tools provide, is the fact that you can connect and say, you know what? I'm ready to release this weight. I'm ready to have my voice heard. I am ready, and I need your help. So do whatever you need to do to make me able to do that, period.
Yeah.
We find Gelitta.
It's interesting with the subconscious mind. I can imagine why people find it difficult. Because the first subconscious mind is like a genie. It's really like a genie. It doesn't judge yes, no. If you say, if you're thinking, I cannot, it gives you I cannot. And I have no money, I have no money, it gives you no money. It doesn't, it's like the egg. It just gets fertilized and it does its thing.
It supports us. It always supports us in our thinking and our voice, our mental voice, our emotional voice, our heart voice. It is always supporting us. Yes.
Yes. But sometimes you would want to create something with your conscious mind. For example, you want to stop smoking, and you will not be able to stop smoking, and you will do all of the right things to stop smoking, and you will not stop smoking. And the answer is also in the subconscious, but more in a shadow kind of. And that's what people find difficult. Shadow work, which is kind of my shamanic specialty, is a bit scary for people, because you will have to go and to look at something you don't want to look. So if you cannot stop smoking because you believe that if you stop smoking, the hell pain that you got from your mother will come and hunt you down, then you will not stop smoking. Doesn't matter how many doctors you pay and stuff. If in the depth of you, you have a belief that you will be in danger, if you will actually be able to feel those feelings. So it brings us again to what people are afraid of, which is in the emotional voice. But the emotional voice is also where the biggest joy and the playfulness of the inner child is. So, you know, it's like, it's both the shadow and light, and that's also part of it. And it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long. People think I've got to be marinated in all my terrible memories or accepting horrible things about myself. But sometimes it's just like, it's 30 seconds. It's just like you go through a passage of the whole, you know, all the emotions going through the body, and then it's done. It's very surprising how the alchemy happens. It does happen sometimes very fast.
It absolutely can. And the thing is, you need to have a talented healer like yourself, or like myself, to help you get through that.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think there is so many amazing people now, because we are all awakening to clear the shadows of ourselves, our ancestors, the planet, because we want to move to fifth density. So there is no shortage of people. You just have to be willing and find a person or a thing or technique that click with you, that has love in it, and that you can, you know, practice self-love more than judgment, which we all do automatically.
Oh, Gelitta, I could talk to you for hours here, and hopefully we will be able to connect again to talk some more and share the wisdom, and maybe have an example of some of your sound healing. But you can always get that on her YouTube station, and it's Galitta Tassa.
Tessa. Yeah, it's the name of my channel is Galitta's Healing Arts.
Okay, Galitta's Healing Arts. I love it. I love it.
And Gelitta is with double T.
Okay, so and I will have that in the show notes below, and be sure to check us out on the YouTube channel, and be sure to subscribe. And in the meantime, how can people, did I understand that you have an offer, a free offer for some of our listeners?
I have a lovely morning activation. It's like 7 minutes to put all of your system into one order, all of your 4 voices in one, and to be centered and focused. And it's not a sound journey, so it's not a whole healing session, but it's just 7 minutes of activation for the morning. It's lovely. People love it. So you can download that, and then you will get more mails from me with more little tools. And actually this year I'm going to launch, I'm not going to say yet the name, because I want to say that to my people first. I'm going to launch the things that we are going to be doing together as a community. So we can all do this. Free or paid, doesn't matter. We can all have this journey together, because it's very powerful. And that's also what we're missing now, the connection to people like us. So I think with all of the shift that's happening, there is more soul family and star family, that you're starting to say goodbye to people, even if you love them, but maybe they're resonating on other things, and more people that in the same frequency of what you want to create with your future. Because, you know, everything actually starts now. It doesn't matter how old you are, it all starts now. It's kind of a new planet. It's going to be a lot of things happening, some of it very dramatic. So we need to be connected to ourselves, to connect it to our power, to each other, in order for us to surf higher together. So
beautifully put. Beautifully put, indeedy. There is a lot of change. Some of it is, if you want to look at the good or the bad, not so beneficial. I'll put it that way. So it's always good to be able to empower ourselves, to have resources, to stay in that higher vibrational level, because without people in that higher vibrational level, it can be really bad. As I love the way you put it, surfing the
Yeah, a lot of water is coming.
Yeah, it is.
No, but it is kind of a way of traveling and knowing how not to drown under it, because it's so easy to follow that. Like I said in my last video, I made a fun video of also a very short activation to dance with the 4 direction. So the last video I made is also good to, it's also free on YouTube, Galitta Healing Arts, to how to activate the 4 voices while moving, because it's very powerful. But it's not only that you get that for yourself, but also you have a powerful genius part that was born with you in order for you to bring it to us in this time. So it's not only that we're doing this journey together for ourselves, which is number 1. You have to take care of yourself first. There is no question about that. But also it's unleashing the power that you specifically have, genetically, psychologically, genetically, soul genetically, for us. So we need each other. Because what you have, Karen, is something that I can have no words for. I don't know how to do that. For you, it looks obvious. And so people who resonate on the same frequency should come together to enhance each other and ourselves, so we can really serve this together. And it's also fun, and that's important, as you said.
It is. And the way I love it is being able to have different ways, because we're all at different stages,
Yes.
different levels, and what served you a year ago may not be serving you anymore. So to have different resources, different tools, different ways of being, and different amazing women like yourself. That's what the Awesome Life podcast is all about, is having you share that wisdom, that amazingness. And it's a new tool. It's a new tool. Somebody asked me why. And for me, I learned very early on that no one is created the same. We may all be the same in many ways. We may all need similar things, but the way we take things in can be very different. So being able to find other resources, such as your music, your sound healing, your medicine wheel, that is so huge. And to be able to take care of all 4 voices, I just love this. So tell us again, how can people get in touch with you? And
well, Galitta.com is my site.
Okay.
And my social medias, all of them are Galitta Healing Arts. So
Gelitta
you can contact me.
Arts.
If you have a question, I love questions, because then I make a video. If you have a question, and I'm very interested to hear people's processes, because I feel people ask me, who are your people? And the only way I can describe them, they are beautiful people. They are people but maybe until now the world didn't give us the voice to have it, because we were the underdogs. It's talented people. It's people that really feel and care for where the world is going. They want to change, and they feel that they have something more to give. So if you have any question, please write to me. I would love an answer to you personally.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. And I'll have all of that information in the show notes here. So Gelitta, thank you so much for being my guest on the Awesome Life podcast. And be sure to check out her YouTube station, Gelitta Healing Hearts, and art with an S on the end.
Arts, yes.
Yes, arts. And be sure to like this podcast and the conversations that we have. Until next time, thank you and have an awesome, awesome time.
Yes. Awesome. Love it. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Gelitta. Bye-bye. How is that?
Great. Have fun. Let's do it again.
All right, let's do it. I love it. I love it. I feel like there is, there's something going on here. There's an energy. And I love that energy. And I'm glad if you felt that energy, because that's what we wanted to put out there. Have it fun.
If we inspire one person, we already did our job.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
One
It was fun. Really wonderful to talk to you. I think you're a great moderator, and you added all these interesting things, and it's good you're inspiring people. I'm very happy about that.
Well, thank you
And we
so
all
much.
need to have an awesome life because we deserve it.
Why not? Why
Yes.
not?
But
All
you
it
know,
takes-
every person has a different definition of what it means.
Well, exactly. Exactly.
And that's why you need to know yourself. So you're not having an awesome life, what your culture says, that you have to have a big car, no, maybe for you, awesome life is traveling the jungles with camera crews and meeting natives.
Exactly. And
herbs.
you know, being able to have that music on YouTube or on an iPod or something, that is the way, or having the meditations that I have, or whatever works for you at that moment. I know in my toolbox, I go, no. Yep, that's what I need today. Thanks.
Brilliant.
And the big thing is the why.
Yeah.
The why are we doing this? Why do we want to have an awesome life? Why do we want to be who we say we want to be, or have what we say we want to have? And really being clear on that. And that's where awesome, the A in awesome is for awareness and allowing.
Wow.
The
That's
end
wonderful.
of awesome is E for enjoyment and fun. And then looking at the different things, the wellness, important for awesome.
Yes.
Your environment.
Yeah.
What are you surrounding yourself with? Who are you surrounding yourself with?
Yeah.
What can change, and how are they all serving you? Going back to the awareness and the allowing. And then spirit. Spirit is huge. Being connected through music, through meditation, through whatever. Organization. Something I will be working on until my dying days. My subconscious knows that, so it just keeps throwing more stuff at me to be disorganized. But each time I get going, each time I get something a little bit, I can just say, yes, all right.
Yeah.
A little bit at a time. That's what it amounts to. And then, of course, money. You can't do the work unless you have some money coming in to make a difference. That's what awesome actually stands for in my world.
Nice. I didn't know. So R of awareness and the B of
allowing
wellness.
and awareness, wellness,
Allowing.
environment,
Environment.
spirit,
Spirit.
organization, money,
money,
and most of all, enjoyment and fun. Always
Yeah,
celebrate.
great. I'm with that. Absolutely
So
awesome.
the awareness and the allowing and the fun, the two anchor stores of this mall.
Yeah.
That's where you want to go to every single day to find awesome life.
Yeah.
And then work on each thing in particular, but being more aware of what it is. What is it? What is it about wellness? What is that going to give to you?
Yeah. What is for you wellness? Because it's different for everyone.
Exactly. And for me, it's feeling good. It's feeling good. It's being able to get out of bed in the morning and feel good. That's wellness to me. Does that mean exercise vehemently every day?
No.
Does it
Not for me.
Losing the 30 pounds? Well, yeah, that's part. I would feel a whole lot better 30 pounds later. So I'm working on that a little bit. But again, not beating myself up when it stops.
Yeah.
Releasing. And just notice and being aware and grateful for feeling good.
Yeah.